Welcome to this daily digital micro webinar. My name is Victoria O'Keefe and I am a digital skills developer working with the digital skills team. So have you ever seen the Twitter logo or heard people talking about Twitter or tweeting and wondered what it's all about? Well, this micro webinar will discuss all about Twitter. And the aim of this quick session is to introduce Twitter, and we'll take a look at the Twitter lingo. So I'll discuss things like hashtags, tweets and retweets. And we'll also look at setting up an account, compose and send a tweet. At the end of the session, I'll show you Hootsuite, and that's the scheduling software that I use to automatically send out my tweets. So to begin, what is Twitter? Well, Twitter is a social networking site that's used for lots of things such as instant messaging, blogging, and it can even be used for marketing your business, yourself, or even by celebrities. You might see them marketing their brand. And it's designed for communicating short messages or tweets. And you'll send a tweet, and each tweet is limited to just 280 characters. So that's letters, spaces, and punctuation marks. And if you think that's not very long, it used to be 140 characters. And you can also include GIFs, videos, images, and polls. So it can be really useful. So you might have seen the bird as Twitter's logo, and the bird represents a tweet. So if you think of Twitter and birds make a tweet sound, and the bird also symbolises freedom and endless possibilities. And so short messages are delivered as fast as birds fly. So that's the theory behind it. And if you ever wondered, the bird is called Larry. And according to a tweet by the co-founder Biz Stone, it's called Larry as a tribute to NBA player Larry Bird, who played for the Boston Celtics, which was Stone's home state team. And so when you send a tweet, you can mention somebody, just like in Teams, really. So you can add their Twitter username or handle, as they say in Twitter, and it will get their attention. And in Twitter, if you mention somebody, they will receive a notification. So moving on to the Twitter lingo. So you might have heard of DMs, and DM just means a direct message. So instead of somebody messaging you on Twitter where everyone can see it, they can send you a private message. There are also hashtags on Twitter. So you add the hashtag symbol to the beginning of an unbroken word, or it could even be a phrase, and that will create a hashtag. And from an accessibility perspective, I always capitalize the beginning of each word in a hashtag to make it easier to read. And when you use a hashtag in a tweet, it becomes linked to all of the other tweets that include that particular hashtag. So hashtags can give context. And a few weeks ago, you've probably heard that Cardiff Met won the Times Higher Education Award for Best University in the UK and Ireland, which was absolutely fabulous. And I went on to Twitter and I typed in hashtag THE Awards and I followed the ceremony live on Twitter. So it can be really useful. You can also use retweets, so that will repost somebody else's tweet, or you can use a quote tweet and add your own commentary with that tweet. And it's a great way to let your followers know about something that you found that you feel is really interesting or important for them to know. And then, of course, we have the likes. So you have the heart icon in Twitter that you can like something, and you can also click on that like to unlike it. So that's quite useful. And then if you wanted to set up your own account, you can set it up free of charge. There are no costs, and you can set it up online, or you can download the Twitter app. So I have the Twitter app on my mobile phone, so it can be really useful. And you can go to twitter.com and you can see that you can sign in with a Google account or an Apple account, or you can create a completely new account. I would say always have a separate account for work and a separate account for your personal life. And then when you create your own account, you enter your details and then you'll add some security because Twitter will send you a verification code either by text or email, entirely up to you. And then you can enter a secure password. So remember, you need to keep your account secure in case anybody hacked into it and sent messages on your behalf. And then once you've created your account, you can do things like add your bio and a website if you have one. And then you can start following people or organizations. So I follow for work anything to do with IT, education, other organizations. And so I know what's going on in this field. I also follow BBC Education and really good sites like that. So I'm just going to show you our Twitter site. So this is the Library and Information Services Twitter account, well, one of them. And I use this to tweet out information about the digital skills courses. So when you go on to Twitter, you can see you have a panel on the left-hand side, and you can go home and you can see all the tweets that you've been following and that people have made. You can explore. So you can explore by here. And remember, I said I was following the Times Higher Awards to see if Cardiff Met won, and we did. So these were live feeds and it constantly updated, and I could just follow what was going on. I've also got notifications. So anyone who's replied to one of my tweets, mentioned Cardiff Met Learn, or liked or retweeted, anything that happens will appear here. So I've got all in detail or just the mentions. So I tweeted this morning about this session from my work account, and then my personal account, I just replied by clicking here and add in the tweet. So I typed in, I'm looking forward to running this session today with a GIF, a smiley face. So you can have images, GIFs, and all information here you can choose from. So direct messaging, this is where your direct messages will appear. You can also bookmark any really interesting tweets. You can create your own lists. And here is where you'll change the profile. So I can go into edit profile and you can upload an image. I've got the Cardiff Met logo. As this is a Cardiff Met account, it has to be bilingual. So you can see English and Welsh here, and you can add any other information. You can tweet bilingually in the same message, or you can send them out separately. So you can see here, I've got the Welsh version. I've added a URL, so a link, and I've also added extra information at the bottom, which wouldn't really fit in here. So if I want to compose my own tweet, I can just click on tweet by here, or at the top, if I go home, I can just type in the what's happening box. So if I just click and I've copied some information just to save me typing it in. And so there's the information. And I can also add, because this is Cardiff Met, I want to mention. So at Cardiff, and all the Cardiff accounts appear. So at Cardiff Met. And then if I find another one, I can just click on it here. And with the hashtag, I can use hashtag Cardiff Met. So if somebody searches Cardiff Met in the search box with the hashtag, any tweet with hashtag Cardiff Met will appear. So it's a great way to advertise and to get people's attention. And then when I'm happy with this, I can click on tweets and it will be sent out to everyone. There are things that I can do. I can change who can reply. So maybe I don't want any replies or just people I follow. So this is a very, very quick introduction just to the Twitter screen. And finally, I just want to show you Hootsuite. I can schedule all my tweets in advance, and I can have more than one Twitter account. So if I wanted to have my personal account added here, I could. So you can have all your different Twitter accounts in one place. And then I can click on Publisher, and I can just pick a date and a time, and I can click and create the post. And here are two I've created. You can see this one is a darker colour, so that's already been scheduled for Sunday, December the 26th, 9 o'clock. But this one has been created by Digital Skills and it hasn't been sent out yet. So I can click on Edit. I can double check it, make any changes, and then I can schedule it. So that means on Boxing Day at 9 o'clock, I don't have to get up early and send out this tweet. And just some quick Twitter tips for you. I would say always keep your tweets short and concise, because Twitter is just a really quick way just to grab information. Remember that Twitter is public, so anything at all that you tweet out, people will see. And a good example of being able to find information online, years and years ago, I went for a job interview and I had the list of people who were interviewing me. And so I went online and Googled them and I found one of the people's Twitter accounts. So I could see their professional Twitter account and I could see exactly what they were into, and I could discuss that at the interview, and I did get the job. But it works the other way around as well. I can see their information, but anything that I've tweeted or put on Facebook, they could Google if it's public and they can see all about me. So always be careful with what you tweet. As I've said, if you want to, you can have a private account, and so people have to ask to follow you. If you receive any horrible tweets or anything that you don't like, then you can block that person or you can mute them so you don't see any of their tweets for 30 days. And most importantly, you can report anything that you don't like as well to Twitter. And if you need any help with Twitter, you can go to help.twitter.com, and there are lots and lots of different tips there for you. So that's a really good website to access. So I'm just going to stop the recording now, and there will be time for questions.